Good morning and welcome. This is Business Cafe. My name is Abi Agina. Today marks an important day for the outgoing head of state, President Uhuru Kenyatta, even as the military conduct the final parade for their outgoing commander-in-chief. We have our reporter, Chris Thyro, who is going to be joining us later on. But for now, we want to take you to just give you a feel of what's happening at the Ulinzi Sports Complex, where the military are on standby, awaiting their Chief of Defense Forces. And that is the Commander-in-Chief, I beg your pardon. And it's an important occasion in the ranks of the military because it is the time that they hand over to the outgoing Chief of, that is the Commander-in-Chief, I beg your pardon. And it will be characterized with some interesting military parades that we'll be seeing the Army, the Air Force, as well as the Navy just making their last presentations in regards to the head of state. Well, let's briefly listen in on the ongoing entertainment there. We're remembering that this event is just 4 days shy of the swearing in of the 5th president, that is Dr. William Ruto, who will be taking over the reins of power on Tuesday next week. Pictures there from the Ulinzi Sports Complex, one of the state-of-the-art facilities that was built for the military and specifically for sporting events. Well, the choir there just getting ready, awaiting the arrival of the outgoing Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, President Uhuru Kenyatta, who is expected to grace this event, and this will be the farewell parade that will be staged by the military, and we'll be crossing over back there once we get to see some more activity from that end. Well, let's take you now on some stories we are following this morning on the business front. And Transport and Infrastructure Cabinet Secretary James Macharia has promised Kenyans that all projects that were underway or were to be launched soon will continue as planned. He spoke as he left office. Macharia says that he met the president-elect, Dr. William Ruto, and briefed him about all the projects in the pipeline, together with their costs, and he was assured that all of them will be fully completed. Macharia spoke as he welcomed the new Kenya Roads Board chairlady, Phyllis Wakiaga, who takes over from the outgoing chairlady, Rita Kavashe.
Protect such interests and such actors, and we say this. I'm tall. Welcome.
1, 2, 3. I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate Phyllis Wakiaga, the incoming chair of Kenya Roads Board, for taking up this responsibility. She's an experienced leader who will for sure take forward Kenya Roads Board.
So I want to appreciate, first of all, the CS for the confidence from the government, His Excellency, the outgoing president, and also His Excellency, the incoming president, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, for the confidence that they have in me to serve and lead this institution.
Even the incoming president, we already discussed about how this matter would be addressed even further, to see that the new incoming government will carry on where the outgoing government has reached so far. So in terms of all those investments, Kenya Roads Board will play a very key role because, like I said, it's like a fund, it's like a bank supporting, or rather dedicated bank to support the road sector.
Congratulations to Phyllis Wakiaga as she takes over the mantle of leadership at the Roads Board. Well, private equity fund manager Ascent has announced the final close of its Ascent Rift Valley Fund at more than $128 million, approximately 15.2 billion Kenya shillings. The first close of ARF2 was in December 2020. ARF2 is a 10 private equity fund managed by Ascent Capital Management Africa Limited and is domiciled in Mauritius. The fund will be invested in equity, leading and small medium enterprises in East Africa looking to take large minority or majority stakes.
A fund that has been raised targeting to invest across Eastern Africa, targeting Kenya, Uganda, Ethiopia, Tanzania and Rwanda, to support SMEs in terms of their growth, to support enterprise champions, and to follow through the successful Ascent Rift Valley Fund 1. And this close at $128 million is slightly above what we had targeted, or $120 million, which demonstrates the faith that investors, which is a very good mix of local institutional investors and also foreign investors, in the Ascent team and capability of deploying capital to support the local enterprises.
Well, to some banking news now. An Absa Bank CEO, Jeremy Awori, is set to leave the company on the 31st of October. The board chairperson, Charles Mushene, disclosed this to the media. Awori is set to pursue other interests outside the firm. Well, I recently hosted him on the premier business show Trading Bell, where Jeremy exuded confidence in the bank's future outlook.
We're very much excited about that opportunity because we feel that startups, SMEs are going to be the engine of growth for the economy, but also importantly create employment. So I think there's the financing side, but then there's the support in terms of skills, how to get your business to survive, because we know it's tough to get your business to make it to the 3-year point. And if you do, then your chances of success are even better.
Speaking about things being tough, Jeremy, we've also seen an interesting trend when it comes to risk-based pricing. It's one of the models that the regulator believes will have a huge bearing in regards to reducing interest rates. I'd like to pick your mind on this. How is this going to play out? Is it something the bank is taking up on its strategy?
No, absolutely, and we were very excited and pleased to get central bank approval for our risk-based pricing model. I know a number of banks are still going through that process. I think what's exciting about risk-based pricing is that it gives banks the ability to price risk much better by customers. So because all customers have different risk profiles.
All right, let's see what lays ahead for Jeremy, an astute gentleman by excellence. Well, let's take you now to Kigali, where 3 African first ladies led by Jeanette Kagame have urged African countries to prioritize nutrition in their quest to improving food production in the continent. Our farming editor, Philip Keitani, is following those deliberations in Rwanda and has more.
Today being the second day of the ongoing African Green Revolution Forum here in Kigali, Rwanda, the First Ladies of the continent have also come out today to have their voices heard in matters food security. The First Ladies, led by Janet Kagame from Rwanda, have insisted that even as African countries look for solutions on how to produce enough food for the continent, they insist that this food should just not be enough, it should also be nutritious.
As you all know, the 6th edition of the Global Report of Food on Food Crisis came out in May this year. It gives valid reasons for concern. According to this report, the alarming high incidence of acute food insecurity and malnutrition starkly exposes the fragility of global and local food systems that are under mounting strain from the increased frequency and severity of weather extremes, the COVID-19 pandemic, increasing conflict and insecurity, and rising global food prices. The truth is, the facts are alarming. due to the COVID-19 pandemic, political instability and conflict, climate change and widening wealth gaps, food security has deteriorated rather than improved around the globe over the past couple of years. I say alarming, esteemed guests, but not damning. Budget reallocation, strategy, policy adjustment, and determined advocacy could put us on the right track to meeting our global 2030 ending world hunger goal.
We know what the major drivers are. An unresponsive food system means people are unable to feed themselves with the quantity and quality of nutrition required. In recognition of this growing challenge, the African Union during the 35th Ordinary Session held in Ethiopia declared nutrition as the theme for 2022. The declaration challenges AU member states to ensure nutrition is made a priority in order to promote access to healthy diets for citizens. A major concern for me is how stunting and wasting disproportionately affect African children and the resultant implication for our continent's future. It is inconceivable that with our favorable natural environment, we are facing a food crisis with the potential to get worse as a result of the war in Ukraine.
We women are concerned about nutrition more than anybody else in this world, that I believe. Aren't we happy when these days it becomes a concern globally and continentally by both men and women? The fact that we have been fighting alone or with few partners in our respective countries forced us to remain with limited knowledge and experiences. Such an event, I believe, can take us forward by equipping us with much better tools and strategies of nutrition from known institutions, shared rich experiences from known actors here in this hall today. What can the role of First Ladies be in increasing access to healthy diets in the AU Year of Nutrition? I suppose First Ladies can play two major roles. One is working deeply on an advocacy to become a champion for transformative actions and investments needed to increase access to healthy diets today, while also protecting the environment and climate for the future. First Ladies present in each country in Africa are well positioned to undertake advocacy on nutrition and also on other areas of relevant social and economic development.
With the First Ladies having had their session this morning on what should be done in terms of food production and nutrition, the African Heads of State Summit is also expected to happen this afternoon, with the President of Rwanda, Paul Kagame, leading the African Heads of State in also putting their foot down on what needs to be done in terms of food production for the continent. Philip Keitang, KTN News from Kigali, Rwanda.
Many thanks there, Keitani. And let's take you now to Nakuru, where investors are trooping to Nakuru city even as the land opportunities continue to increase. Well, according to Naftali Mwangi, the CEO of Hyso Properties Limited, he has exuded confidence that Nakuru is the next frontier for investments. He spoke as they issued close to 200 title deeds to consumers who have been eyeing the county as one of the emerging spots for investment. Nakuru has been regarded as the next epicenter for investment, even as more and more corporates continue to troop to the city. The city has offered not only an ambient experience when it comes to infrastructure, but the city also promises substantial investments by industries.
about 40% of their income for rental fees. Kama unalipwa shilingi 1,100 unatumia about 40,000. So owning a house is the biggest step towards financial freedom. So tuna encourage vijana, tuko na mradi wa vijana ambao tuta roll out very soon, and this is a great movement and I welcome you in this movement. We have houses as low as 1 million Kenya shillings. You can be given up to 10 years to pay that 1 million shillings by Tower Sacco. Kwa hivyo ni kwanza milioni 1 mpaka wale wakubwa wale ambao wangependa kujenga milioni 50. Bado tuko na huo ujuzi na kuna zile hela. Nakuru ndio ule mji ambao ni next. Apart from Nairobi, Nakuru ndio ule another metropolitan. Our project is aimed at the middle class and the lower middle class. Those are the people we would like to provide shelter for.
Well, away from that, we want to take you back to